glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, a covert operation unfolded, altering the course of casino history forever. Las Vegas, the city of sin, a place where fortunes are made, lost, and made again in the blink of an eye. A city that never sleeps, dazzling with bright lights, glittering casinos, and a ceaseless undercurrent of excitement and anticipation. It's an intoxicating mix that draws gamblers from around the globe, each chasing their own version of the American dream. But amidst the thrumming energy of the casino floors, behind the flashing neon lights and the clatter of slot machines, a different kind of game was being played. A game that wasn't about luck or chance, but about skill, precision, and a deep understanding of the system. A game that was destined to shake the very foundations of the Las Vegas gambling world. The architect of this game was no ordinary man. He wasn't one of the high rollers, the flamboyant players who tossed around huge sums of money with reckless abandon. Nor was he one of the countless hopefuls, dreaming of hitting the jackpot that would change their lives forever. No, this man was different. He possessed a keen intellect, an eye for detail, and a mastery of technology that far surpassed his peers. He was a man with a plan that would see him take on the might of the Vegas casinos and win. But who was this man, you ask? A genius? A criminal? A maverick? In truth, he was all of these things and more. His name was Ron Harris, and he was about to pull off one of the most audacious heists in casino history. A heist that would see him outsmart the casinos at their own game, using their own technology against them. A heist that would leave the world of gambling reeling, questioning everything they thought they knew about the sanctity of their systems. This was no ordinary gambler. This was Ron Harris, a man about to execute the great Vegas heist. The man behind the heist was not a hardened criminal, but a computer whiz with a knack for numbers. Meet Ron Harris, the unlikely mastermind of the great Vegas heist. A quiet, unassuming man, Ron was far from your typical image of a casino con artist. Born and raised in the heart of America, his life took a fascinating turn when he found himself drawn to the world of numbers and codes. With an innate talent for mathematics and computer programming, Ron was destined for a career that involved both. This path eventually led him to the Nevada Gaming Control Board, an organization responsible for ensuring the fairness and integrity of casino games throughout the state. Here, Ron was tasked with writing the computer programs that would run the state's slot machines, a role that gave him an intimate understanding of the inner workings of these machines. You see, Ron's job was to ensure that the games in the casinos were fair, that they couldn't be manipulated or cheated. He was, in essence, the guardian of the casino vault, entrusted with keeping the games honest. But as he delved deeper into his role, Ron discovered something astonishing: a loophole in the system. This wasn't just any loophole. It was a flaw in the programming of the slot machines that could potentially be exploited to predict the outcome of a game. Most people would have reported such a finding, but Ron saw opportunity. The more he studied this loophole, the more he was convinced of its potential. Here was a key that could unlock the riches of Las Vegas, a secret that could turn the tables on the house. And who better to wield this key than the very man who had discovered it? With his knowledge and skill, Ron Harris had found the key to the vault of Las Vegas. This computer whiz was about to become the mastermind of one of the most audacious casino cons in history. And Las Vegas, the city of sin, would never be the same again. Armed with insider knowledge, Harris hatched a plan that would shock the casino world. As an engineer at Nevada's Gaming Control Board, Harris had intimate technical knowledge of the slot machines. He knew the machines' ins and outs, the algorithms that determined the outcomes, and the random number generators that kept the games fair. But what if these elements could be manipulated to his advantage? Harris began to envision a plan. He started by exploiting his position to modify the source codes of the machines. He subtly introduced a glitch into the software, a tiny, virtually undetectable loophole that allowed him to predict the winning combinations. The glitch was so discreet, it wouldn't be triggered unless the player entered a specific sequence of coins. But once activated, the machine was as good as rigged. Yet, Harris couldn't execute the plan alone. He needed a partner, someone who could play the rigged machines without arousing suspicion. Enter Reed Errol McNeil, an unsuspecting accomplice, an average Joe who loved to gamble. McNeil was the perfect candidate. He had no ties to the gaming industry, no record of any previous wrongdoing. He was, in all appearances, a harmless gambler trying his luck. Harris trained McNeil, teaching him the specific sequence of coins to trigger the glitch. They practiced diligently, ensuring that McNeil could carry out the procedure without faltering. It was a delicate operation, one that required precision and confidence. Any mistake could lead to their downfall. As they prepared, they took every precaution to avoid detection. They operated on a strict need-to-know basis, telling no one else about their scheme. They rehearsed their roles over and over, refining their act to perfection. They knew that the slightest misstep could cost them everything. With the plan in place, the stage was set for the most daring heist in casino history. They were ready to strike, ready to exploit the system that had, for so long, been thought invincible. Little did they know, their actions would send shockwaves through the casino world, forever changing the way we view the sanctity of the game. On a fateful day, Harris and McNeil walked into the Bally's casino, ready to change their fortunes. The air was thick with anticipation as they sauntered through the grand entrance, their hearts pounding with the weight of their audacious plan. A plan that, if successful, would make them millionaires overnight. The casino, a grand spectacle of lights and sounds, was buzzing with the usual thrum of gamblers, each chasing their own dreams of fortune. They made their way to the Keno game, a simple, luck-based game that was about to become the stage for their grand performance. With the precision of a well-rehearsed play, they executed their plan. McNeil, the actor, played his part flawlessly, making the right bets at the right time, while Harris, the director, sat back and watched, his software manipulating the game from behind the scenes. The tension mounted as the game progressed. Each number that popped up was another step towards their jackpot. And then it happened, the moment they had been waiting for. The jackpot hit, a staggering amount of over $100,000. Their plan had worked, they had won, but winning such a large sum was not as inconspicuous as they had hoped. The casino, unaccustomed to such large payouts, raised the alarm. Questions were asked, eyebrows were raised. The win was too perfect, too precise. It didn't take long for the casino to realize that something was amiss. Just as they thought they had pulled off the perfect heist, their plan began to unravel. The casino's security was alerted, and an investigation was launched. In the world of gambling, where luck is king, a win this big was more than just a stroke of luck. It was a signal, a beacon that something was not right. In a twist of fate, the biggest win of their lives became their biggest mistake. In the aftermath of the heist, the casino world was left reeling, and the law was hot on their trail. The audacious win had raised more than a few eyebrows and set the wheels of an investigation into motion. The casinos, initially dazzled by the seemingly impossible stroke of luck, were now frantic, scrambling to understand how their fortress-like security had been breached. As the authorities delved deeper into the case, the glittering facade of fortune began to crumble, revealing a complex web of deception and technological manipulation. The incredible win was not a result of chance, but a meticulously planned scam, orchestrated by none other than Ron Harris, a man who had once pledged to protect the very system he had exploited. The discovery sent shockwaves through the industry. Harris, the trusted watchdog, had turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. His accomplice, Reed McNeil, was also apprehended. Their audacious act of defiance had ended, not with a bang, but with the cold, hard clang of a jail cell. The arrest of Harris and McNeil was a wake-up call for the casino industry. It brought to light the vulnerabilities in their supposedly impregnable systems. It was a stark reminder that even the guardians could turn gamekeepers, exploiting the very loopholes they were meant to seal. The Great Vegas heist left an indelible mark on the casino industry. It heralded a new era of heightened security measures, stringent checks, and advanced technological safeguards. It taught the industry a valuable lesson, that it needed to stay one step ahead, not just of the players, but of its own protectors as well. The aftermath of the heist was a period of introspection and transformation for the casino industry. It was a time when the industry had to reassess its strategies, fortify its defenses, and reaffirm its commitment to fair play. The Great Vegas heist was a game changer, proving that in the world of casinos, the house doesn't always win.